Part 5. We're going to do something a bit interesting here now. We're going to have a classic trap here. So, what we want to do up here is have some standing room. Let's measure. Really, we want it to be about 512. I like to center everything, as you can probably tell by now, even when it's not necessary. So let's make another pit here. Do it like that. I'm gonna put some water here as well. Let's do the old no draw. Oh, no, let's do that. Trigger hurt. So what I'm going to do here is have let's think. So I'll make it blue. Now I'm gonna make a cylinder. When you make cylinders, it always goes up like this, but you can rotate it once it's done. On the top, I'm gonna find well, these are decals, so you have to put them above. They all tend to be decals, so I'll show you what I'll do. Oh, wrong one. Why? I might bring them up a bit. Now, take the overlay tool and find let's just do this. Luckily it is the right size, so we don't have to do too much there. Just center it. Now we're gonna add some effects. So find env steam. This is gonna, well, what this is gonna do is let's bring it out just a bit. go on the settings and find the particle type, change it to heat wave. That's going to make that kind of hazy wave that you may have seen in some maps. And spread speed, spread. So we'll make that a bit bigger. 50. Start speed. Start size. So we'll make that 20. Bring it in a little bit more. Now call it trap 6. Just call it steam. And yeah, the length of the jet. Let's measure that. Let's say 256. That's a nice power of 2 there. So let's copy that on each one. Bring it in a bit. Now we're gonna make a trigger push here. So you can probably guess what this is going to do. Anybody who's standing here when this trap gets activated will be pushed off. Oh yeah, let me set that to block. I'm just trying to think, should I move that in a bit? Or should I extend that out like that? Depends how tricky you want it to be, but remember, you don't want it to be too easy to get past. I mean, you decide if you're making something like this. I'm probably going to make it go the full length there. So, on our trigger here, we're going to want to turn it into a trigger push, obviously. Speed of push, shall we say, let's say 1,000. Actually, no, let's say 750. And actually, the direction is right where we want it to be, so we can leave that. Start disabled. Make sure clients is checked. Now in here, on trigger, trap 6 steam, turn on, trap 6 push, enable, and then should we say after 5 seconds we will turn it off, and then we want to also disable the trigger push after 5 seconds. Now another thing we might want to do is add some sound. Now the classic sound people tend to use is the airboat the airboat blade. Full throttle loop. Just the airboat blade sound. Now, this is a looping sound. So what we're going to do is check is not loop, because this is a looping sound and we want it to loop. But that means we must make sure that we also turn it off. It means it will play for as long as it's on. So let's copy those. On trigger, let's start our sound. Play sound. And then after 5 seconds, we want to stop sound. It's very important that this is unchecked, because if that's checked, you won't be able to stop it and it'll just keep playing forever. I'm going to save there, and we are going to test this out. So let's compile that. Let's go. Let's test this. Right, I'll go here.
Come on!
Right, you see that? It's working. And then after 5 seconds, it stops. So, trap 6 is done. Now, let's get on to trap 8 over here. So remember, I did kind of shift them, so let's make sure these are set properly. Now for trap 8, I'm going to show you how to do I'm going to show you to use dynamic models. So, well, dynamic props. A dynamic prop is like a static prop, but you have more control over it. However, dynamic props do use edicts, so you should only use them when you have to. They can also cast dynamic shadows, which again can affect performance, but may be useful in certain scenarios. Right, let's find Demo Man's model. I think you can guess what I'm gonna do here. Where is he? Let's just find his HWM model. Now, especially if you're using a player model, set disable bone followers to yes, because otherwise it creates unnecessary edicts, which you're not going to be using. I would also turn collisions off, because we don't need him to collide. Make sure you change the skin. I mean, it doesn't make sense if it's a red Demo Man. I'm going to put him there. And let's give him an animation. Now, a good one to use is probably the competitive one. Competitive. Maybe just have him standing there. Sometimes I do like a taunt, but I'm gonna do something a bit different here. Now you need to, I would copy that once you've found your model, because that's not what sets its default animation. What sets the default animation is the default animation key here. So what we're gonna do now is well, we're gonna call him Trap 8. Let's call it demo model. And we're also gonna need some sticky bombs. So let's find the sticky bomb models. Should be somewhere here. Aha. We'll make them blue. You can check what skins a model has by going on to the skins tab. And if you select the skin before applying the model, it should set it to that automatically. Let's just put that in the ground. We'll put it slightly above. That's where they tend to be. Also, I'll disable collisions. As far as I know, it doesn't have any bone followers, but it doesn't hurt to set it to that anyway. Now, hold shift and just, you know, dot them about. Try to make it a bit random. Try to keep in mind how many stickies you can have. You want it to be a bit realistic. There's 8 sticky bombs there. Now, I'm going to place an overlay. The easiest one to use is the hazard strip. So let's say how big do we want it to be? Should we say we'll make it that big? I'll move that one over slightly. What we're gonna do is make an end explosion. Well, we're going to make a few of them. You don't have to make them on each one, really. Just as long as it's sort of in, you know, close. Although it would have a good effect, so alright, let's do that. But I'm going to turn damage off, because we're going to damage players using a trigger instead. Because if you leave it to the sticky bombs, it could blow people up that are outside the indicators. Let's call this Trap 8 Explosion. Let's copy them onto each one. Then let's make a trigger. This is what's actually going to kill the players. Anyone in this zone is going to die. What you want to do here, though, is set the damage type to blast, so that's going to cause players to gib as if they've been exploded. And then we're going to want to make sure it starts disabled. So let's just check something. We're gonna want him to do the kaboom taunt, and then he'll go back to his state. But then we can change that. Put him back there. See, when an animation is finished, it will automatically go back to the default state. So we don't have to worry about that unless you want to change the animation after, but it's not necessary. So actually, let's get a sound as well. Let's put the sound where the demo man is. Gonna have to think which taunt voice line it is. Demo. Should be the second one. We'll find out. Perfect sound. Okay. Don't know why I've got that on. Trap 8 explosion. Explode. Trap 8. Oh yeah, I better give these a name, because we're gonna make these disappear after the explosions have gone. So trap 8, should we say sticky model? Sticky models. Trap 8 sticky models. Disable. I also tend to disable the shadows after, and trap 8 demo model set animation. We're going to want to find, so taunt 2, you're going to want to set the animation to that. You're going to want to put that in the parameter there. And then after he's done, he'll go back to normal. And for the trigger, I would say for the trigger hurt, I would enable it and then probably disable it after 0.1 seconds. And oh yeah, let's make the sound go. Trap 8 sound. Play sound. Alright, that should work. So let's compile this and test it. Quickly go.
Freedom! Lactating wet nurse.
That's the wrong sound. I'll have to go and check. but you can see it's sort of working. So let me go and do it again in 5 seconds, and I'll stand in there. You'll see that it will blow me up. But the way we've done it makes sure that you won't blow up if you're standing outside. Alright. Sometimes I find it useful to go on the TF2 wiki to find specific lines, because you can't preview them in Hammer, because Valve changed them all to MP3s. Although I don't know why they felt the need to do that. I mean, there's such short lines. If you go on this, it will tell you what special completed, but it won't be an MP3 on here. And also, I'm gonna make a few more of these just to make it louder. It's not a WAV file anymore, it's an MP3. But I tell you what, I'll put these there. Let's try it again now. Alright. And you'll see that if I'm standing this side, I won't die. Yeah, I'd say that's alright. Okay, I hope you guys found that useful. In the next video, we'll deal with this trap, and then I might show you how to get a bit more advanced with displacements, and we might try to add a bit more, add some more textures and stuff. We'll see. Alright.